Who will fix Social Security? Will it be Trump? Will it be Harris? Will it be Biden? Maybe even the new guy, Walz. We'll see. Let's bring in my co-host, Tony Shore, to talk about this. Tony, who's going to fix Social Security? What's going to happen to it? We know. Before you answer that, because I know you're going to say your buddy Minnesota Walz. What's his first name? What?
Tim.
Tim Walz. I'm thinking of the hockey player Wes Walz from Minnesota Wild. Social Security is running out, right? We know this. 2033 is the new number. People are aware of this. And recent survey by Nationwide said 72% of people are actually thinking, yeah, this is not going to be around for me. So it's a real deal. And I'm not going to go into that. We're not going to go into the logistics of whether or not it's happening, because it is. It's on the trajectory to run out and not be able to pay 100% of benefits. There's going to be a haircut for everybody. So the question is, who's going to fix it?
Good question, Dan.
Right.
Here's another truth. Social Security is dying.
It's a truth. It is the truth. Non-debatable, right? So there's a lot of different ways to fix it, and we've done shows on this. And I recommend, if you're really into this, to watch the show that we did on what you could do about it. You can contact your local congressman. You could fill out a survey to say what you think should be changed and send the results to your congressman. It's really good. Watch that show. But let's talk about recent developments of what these presidential candidates are saying about Social Security and whether or not we're going to be able to fix it. So I want to bring up this first quote here from Trump. This was August of 24. Quote, seniors should not pay taxes on Social Security, and they won't. I'm not going to try and impersonate him. That's just, I'm not good at that. If it was Mike Tyson, it would be different. Right. Seniors should not pay for Social Security. They shouldn't pay taxes.
It's going to be huge.
Right? So,
it's huge.
That is a huge statement. Because
it is. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I mean, politicians will say anything to get elected, but if somebody could actually pull that off, that would be awesome.
What we're talking about here is taxation of your Social Security benefit. A lot of people don't realize it's taxed. We've done many shows on this, but right now, as 2024, as a single person, if you make less than $25,000, none of your Social Security benefits are taxable. If you make between $25,000 and $34,000, up to half is taxed. And if you make more than $34,000 as an individual, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits is taxable. So by no means can you be calling this person wealthy, rich. That's not a lot of income. $34,000 is not a lot. And it's not much higher for a married couple. It's like $44,000 for a married couple. So this idea of not paying tax on Social Security sounds great, right? Seniors love it. Good. Why should I pay tax on it? And a lot of people do pay tax on it because a lot of people have more than that as income. And it's not going to be they have this fancy pension or they're still working. It's going to be an IRA distribution. An IRA distribution is considered income, thereby raising the amount you pay tax on Social Security. So, but here's the problem with this that Trump, is not getting, or I think he gets it, but the politicians don't understand. Right. Eliminating taxes on Social Security doesn't help the program.
Right.
It does the opposite. Right.
Because it doesn't put money back into the Social Security coffers. It's taking money out of the government coffers. So it's not collecting more money to help Social Security, keep Social Security from dying. Right. You can't increase benefits and keep Social Security solvent.
Right.
But
it
doesn't
sounds
make sense.
Terrific.
Sounds
who's going to disagree with this?
Sounds
who's
awesome.
going to fight this? Right.
Right.
Eliminating tax. Even your buddy Tim Walz in Minnesota lowered the threshold for what is taxed Social Security in the state of Minnesota. Now, that sounds great that he lowered the amount that's taxed for certain people. He raised the income rate, meaning you can make more and none of your Social Security is taxable.
Well, Minnesota at the state level was the worst at one point, like as far as taxing Social Security.
They're still in the bottom 10 because not many states tax Social Security. Minnesota still does.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's great. So that's good to see that someone's willing to, on the Democratic side, lower taxes, right? This is great.
Right. Yeah.
But doesn't help the problem, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Waltz is a
help the
fiscal
problem.
moderate for the most part, although he is for social programs. So,
Right. And Social Security being one of them. So now, going back to Trump, and this is the only positive that I've seen out of any politician's mouth on Social Security, and that is in March of 2024, Trump said, quote, there is a lot you can, it's tough to read his sentences, but quote, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, and in terms of also the theft and bad management of entitlements. So he's leaning toward that we can improve the program. People are stupid running it. We can fix it. The theft, bad management, losers. But in reality, he says there is cutting here. The word cutting is involved, and entitlements. And that is you need to do some sort of cutting to solve Social Security. I don't think you could tax your way out of it. So if he eliminates taxes, you got to cut something else. You can't, just give more and more. So right now, so far, Trump is most likely to fix it right now. Let's continue because other people are involved in this. Harris.
Well, yeah, it's not Trump or and in my argument, it's not Trump or Harris. It's they would have to get Congress to do something.
They have to, yes.
Good luck.
You hit it, which is why I went at the very beginning, said contact your local congressman to get them educated on what they can do to represent you and fix this, because this is a group effort.
Right.
But I do believe 100% that the president is going to set the tone and the agenda and make the compromise happen. Somebody at the leadership level, which is the president, has to touch the third rail.
Sure.
They have to actually compromise and make it happen. They have to smack down their own party and get them to give a little. If it's just us versus them, nothing's going to happen as it has it. Now, Harris was a co-sponsor of the Social Security Expansion Act 2019. Bernie Sanders is the primary sponsor. This Social Security Act, and this is, I put the link for those watching on YouTube. There's a link to the Social Security Act, that the Expansion Act. Basically, this bill increases benefits and certain taxes related to the Social Security program. So they say we're going to give more in Social Security, which is just like what Trump's saying. Let's cut taxes. Let's give more, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they also say we're going to raise taxes. So we're going to increase taxes on it. Right. All right. So Harris and Biden are very similar. They're currently, president, vice president. So let's look at what Biden has been saying. And Biden, in 2024, he wrote a letter to the trustees of the Social Security. I'll put it up here. To those watching, this is a statement to the trustees that are managing Social Security and Medicare. This is what he said. Biden, quote, I am committed to extending Social Security solvency by asking the highest income Americans to pay their fair share without cutting benefits or privatizing Social Security. So again, Harris and Biden are into increasing the taxes to pay for it, not cutting benefits.
Right. But increasing taxes is probably what's going to have to be done. And Dan, wouldn't you agree? Right now, only up to what, 130.
I think it's like 160. It's pegged to inflation.
It's 160. So if you make over 160,000 a year, which I personally know people that make well over that, what they make over that, no Social Security tax is taken out, and Social Security is funded by us who are working. The Social Security tax taken out of every paycheck. But if I'm the CEO of Exxon and I'm making, say, $13 million a year, I'm only paying Social Security tax on 160 of that. Why not take off the limit? So if you make $500,000 a year, you're going to pay Social Security tax on all your earnings, just like The middle class has to. Middle class people have to pay Social Security tax on 100% of what they earn. But the 1% only has to pay Social Security tax on a tiny percentage of what they earn. Not tiny, but a small percentage of what they earn. So that right there, it would almost solve it. It wouldn't solve it 100%, but it would sure help, wouldn't it?
It would help. It would help by eliminating the cap. But
and I'm not trying to sound like a left wing person. Tell me what the problem is there.
Well, the problem with that is if you don't cap the amount of money, then the person making 13 million is going to pay 6.5% of that into Social Security. There's no way they're going to get that back in any means. They're never going to get that money back out because the cap is what getting money back in Social Security is limited, right? The most you can get back, right? And that's because they limit how much they taxed. I think a better solution would be just to raise the overall tax rate for everybody. Now, again, I don't know the answer. I think it's a combination of all. If I were a politician, which I'm not, I would work toward totally revamping the whole system, probably getting rid of it, phasing it out in some way that's fair. But we're talking about the current politicians and the current environment. To save it,
you want to take away the retirement safety net for seniors?
Not for seniors, but for people that are younger, and totally change it, because the way it's working, it's not working, right? The way it's designed doesn't work. So we have to make some drastic changes for the younger people now. Right now, most younger people don't even factor it in because they don't think it's going to last. And at the current rate, it won't. But to change it now, I think it's going to have to be a combination of doing that, raising taxes. I think it's more fair. I don't like the term fair share. I'm tired of that term of fair share. Like, tax the wealthy is not the answer, because eventually the wealthy will leave. They'll come up with a new loophole. They'll figure out a way to avoid it. What you want to do is you can raise the tax on everybody, raise the tax for corporations on their portion, and just everybody pays a higher amount into Social Security because they're all getting it back, right? That's the whole point. But you also have to address the other end of it, which is people are living longer, and look at raising the retirement age or reducing benefits in some way.
And they've done this stuff before. I mean, they've raised the retirement age to help shore up Social Security. There were concerns about it running out in the 80s, and I remember in the late 80s, early 90s, and then I remember they raised in the early 80s they raised the full retirement age,
right. And so it can be done, and I think you have to do a combination. If you just do one or the other, raise taxes or reduce benefits, it's going to be a fight, right? But if you do both and a little bit of both, you come up with some compromise. That's the only way it's going to do, which is why I want to show you the video we did 3 years ago.
Okay.
This is, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to, let me see if I can get this. I want to do it. You and I did this video. We had this discussion about whether or not Biden was going to fix it, right?
Oh, boy. So here we go.
This is what we said.
If he's able to do that, if he's able to get these ridiculously childish Congress people to talk to one another, he will be remembered for that. I think that could be his legacy. If he can fix Social Security, it would be a lifetime legacy for him. All the other nonsense that people have against him, and all the other things that he's done that has just been terrible in his career.
Yeah.
It'll be wiped away by him. He's the guy that fixed Social Security.
Yeah,
everyone's had a chance, and no one's done it. I think. I think COVID may be the catalyst to give Biden, give the current president, whoever it was. I think COVID's giving them the chance to actually make meaningful change to Social Security. I'm all for it. If he's,
I said Biden was going to be the guy to change it, and I'm sticking to that, Tony. I think quack, quack, lame duck Biden can still make this change happen. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great if Biden pulled this off in the last few months of his presidency and secured his legacy, eliminated all the drama that has happened in 2024 with him?
Well,
How awesome would that be?
I don't know how he could do it without the help of the House and the Senate or Congress, but
you can't. You have to get Congress to do it, right? But if
that's
this
the
is
stickler.
the chance, like someone has to touch the third rail.
He should
Why
try.
not him? He's not running again, right?
Yeah,
so why not go out with a blaze of glory and say, let's fix this?
Yeah.
I ran on being the common man, bringing everyone together. This is a common issue. Everyone agrees it needs to be fixed. Why couldn't he do it? I think he could if he just said, this is where I'm going to have my legacy. Because right now, his legacy isn't great. He's not looked, especially lately in 2024, how his mental capacity has been in question and he's shaky. Like, he could flip this on a dime and be like, boom, here's what we're going to do.
Good point.
Fix it.
I doubt it'll happen, but I think that would be great, and he should, because he's, a lame duck. He's got nothing to lose at this point. He should just sit everybody. He should sit everybody down and say, "We need to fix this. We all know it's a problem. Let's come up with a solution."
Right, and that's why I think it could still happen. When I said COVID was going to be the reason, because everything's crazy. It's like, well, let's just throw this in there, let's fix Social Security while we're giving out free checks to everybody.
Yeah.
Like it was, everyone was willing to do crazy things. Now I reflect, and that didn't happen. So I was wrong. I never would have thought that a lame duck president is the perfect opportunity to get something done.
It actually is.
Like you said, he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And no one else has been able to do it since the 80s. Why not be the guy?
But a lame duck president also means he doesn't have the political clout or power to maybe make it happen in the House and the Senate. But again, this issue is different because everybody knows it's got to be fixed. So there is at least there's common ground to start with in our polarized politics, right?
Right. I mean, and the Republicans can make that compromise and then blame Biden. I did it, I hate Biden. They can always push that, but at least there's a compromise. I think, though, but I don't believe Biden can do it just by saying we're going to only tax people making $400,000 or more. That's not the answer. You got to do something else with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
they're going to have to raise the full retirement age from 67 to 70, probably. I mean, and
which
know
is a benefit cut, which is absolutely a benefit cut. And you know what?
Sure it is. But I mean, how many people have really noticed or complained about it going from 65 to 66 and then 66 to 67? It's been raised twice before.
That decision was made in the 80s. And we're just now implementing it, right? It's been happening gradually. So you could do that now that impacts people 20 years from now.
Yeah.
And that could alleviate a lot of the pressure. But you have to do that with a combination of raising taxes. You have to do both.
Yeah.
So I think this would be a great opportunity. So I'm wrong right now because I said COVID would be the catalyst, but I did say I think Biden can do it, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to hold out hope. Everyone else is worried about who's going to win the election. I'm worried about whether or not Biden's going to fix Social Security on the last few months of his political career.
Or if he doesn't, whether Trump or Harris can fix it. That's the Yeah, those. I mean, it's
and
just like somebody.
My personal opinion, I don't think the Harris-Walz ticket can change it because I think they're too focused on the fair share and the taxes and not cutting benefits at all. That's like, they won't touch that. I think Trump has a better chance of doing it because he's wishy-washy. He'll go with whatever politically makes sense. I think he's willing to waffle, which isn't great. You don't want someone that's waffle, but at the same time, he's willing to be like, you know what, let's just do it, because he seems to not really care too much anyway. And I also think to change Social Security, if Trump can have that as his legacy, if he sees the power of building his ego up and his legacy up by fixing a big problem like that, if he just grabs onto that, he's like a dog. He won't let go. I think he might do it. So
you have a great point there. I will defend Walz because I'm from Minnesota and I've seen him compromise, and I think he would do what it takes too. Now Harris, no, I agree with you. Trump's more likely than Harris to give in on cutting benefits. But Walz, if it's what it takes, Walz would say, let's raise the full retirement age to 70.
That's the Walter Mondale in you. You got your Mondale bumper stickers still?
I actually may have a.
You got to bring it out. If he wins, that's got to come out.
I have a McGovern Shriver button that I found.
I think this is a chance, Tony. I think it's a chance for any of these people to make a huge legacy for themselves.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who's going to have.
Somebody has to fix it, and they're going to have to raise the full retirement age. They're going to have to, I think they have to raise that, how much income is taxed myself. I think those are answers, but we'll see what they do.
We'll see. Hopefully I can do a show next year saying I was right. Biden fixed it.
Yeah.
But I don't have much hope in that. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't put money on my call on this. But you never know.
You never know.
We'll see. All right, Tony. Hopefully we'll have some celebratory. We'll look back on this video and laugh, but you never know. We'll see. Something's got to change. So let's just hope it happens.
I would hope so.
Later. And the longer we wait as a country, the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be. We got to fix the wound before it festers anymore.
Well, yeah.
With Social Security a thing of the past, she can't afford to retire.
No, it's true. Right. So don't hold it against me. I'm not looking to get rid of Social Security. I'm trying to fix it.
Right.
But if I had my way, we would chew it very differently. But I don't have my way because I'm not going to get in politics. Thanks for a good show, Tony. We'll catch everyone next week.
All matters discussed in today's show are for informational purposes only.
This show is not investment advice.
Dan Riddle nor Dolphin Financial Group are affiliated or endorsed by any government agency.
Investment advisory services are offered through Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc., a registered investment advisor in the state of Florida.
Insurance products and services are offered through Dolphin Insurance, Inc.
Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc. and Dolphin Insurance, Inc. are affiliated companies doing businesses as Dolphin Financial Group.
You should talk to someone at Dolphin Financial Group before implementing any of these strategies or ideas.